Guys, the Chickens here, bringing you another Boom Beach video. In today's video, guys, we're bringing it back a little bit. I'm going to be going over a beginner guide for people just coming into Boom Beach in 2019. Just some tips and tricks to get you started off on the right track. I'm going to keep it short, I'm going to keep it sweet, I'm going to keep it concise. Just some of the basics to get you rolling in the right direction. So, the first thing I do want to say in Boom Beach is, you can't really make huge mistakes. I mean, even if you do upgrade the wrong thing in the wrong order, the only consequence you're going to suffer is time. There's nothing that's going to, like, you're not going to make any drastic mistakes by upgrading a sniper tower instead of your HQ at experience level, 30 or something like that. Like, there's definitely an optimal way to do things, and there's certain statue layouts that you should keep in mind as you progress. But that being said, if you like focusing on a certain way of upgrading things, then, that's fine at the end of the day. But that being said, let's go ahead and get into it, guys. So, the first thing I want to talk about is going to be statues. Now, statues are very important when you just get started because basically your luck with statues is going to determine how quickly you're able to upgrade throughout the game. So, the most important statues, there's only 4 statues that you're going to be using as you start out the game that you should be using, and there's only going to be 3 statues that you use towards the end of the game, depending on a couple things. So, to get you started, gunboat energy is going to be the biggest thing that you want to get. Regardless, if you're just starting, if you get a gunboat energy statue and it's 7%, put it down, because that's going to be helpful. So, you want gunboat energy, you want troop damage, you want troop health, and you want a resource reward. And I wouldn't stack multiple resource reward statues. As long as you get a masterpiece, you're going to be fine, especially if you boost it, because any more than 1 resource reward statues are just taking up offensive statue slots. So, Boom Beach is an offensive-dominated game. If you're coming over from Clash of Clans, it's different. It's the same, but it's different in a lot of ways. Offense is overpowered. You're going to get raided. You're going to lose, no matter how good your defense is. So having a strong offense is always going to outweigh a good defense in terms of progressing through the game with your upgrades. So, in terms of statues, I'm just going to keep it right there. Get offensive statues, get your gunboat energy, get a resource reward, and just clear your map lots. Play the Mega Crab up to a point where you're not wasting power powder by going any further. And just get your resources. And now let's talk about what you're going to use those resources for. So base upgrades. Now, in Boom Beach, there is no penalty for rushing your HQ. Rushing your HQ is exactly what you want to do in this game. You want to make sure that you're upgrading some key specific buildings in order to get the experience needed to upgrade the HQ even more. Because when you get the HQ upgraded more, you can level up your troops more, you can upgrade your armor, you can upgrade your landing crafts, you can upgrade your all of your other offensive things that you need. Now, you don't have to completely ignore defenses. A lot of people will say just ignore defenses and only upgrade offensive things, but if you can get a bunch of quick defensive upgrades going, like all these buildings over here, it's just going to gain you experience faster and allow you to upgrade your HQ even faster. Obviously, so here's basically where I would put the upgrade priorities into. So I would start with the HQ, of course, first and foremost. Then I would go the Sculptor, because the Sculptor, as you upgrade it, lets you put in more statues, which is going to be huge. Then I would go landing crafts. Upgrading your landing crafts are going to allow you to hold more troops, so that's going to be very important. Then you want to upgrade your gunboat. That's going to give you more base gunboat energy to start your battles with. Again, it's going to be huge. Upgrading your armory, that's going to allow you to upgrade your troops even more. So that's definitely a big priority as well. The armory and upgrading your troops is going to be what takes the longest. But as long as you make sure that you're upgrading it with each HQ level, you'll be doing it at a decent pace. So the most confusing is to new players probably is going to be this. So this is the radar. And this is something that you want to keep upgraded because it allows you to get more people on your map. So the more upgrades you do to your radar, the bigger your entire map is going to be. The more bases you have to raid, the more NPC bases you're going to be able to take down. Obviously, unless you're at a higher level, you're not going to have the destroy option on them. But as you get closer to maxing out, you want to make sure that you have as many NPC bases and player bases on your map as possible, so you're getting so you're able to clear as many bases and get as much loot as you can out of your map. Then, of course, you're going to want to upgrade your storages, because your storages are going to allow you to hold more resources, which you need to upgrade everything else. Then I would actually upgrade production buildings. before defensive buildings. It's not going to help. I mean, you could basically not even make them. At very low levels, they are going to be somewhat useful, but as you progress throughout the game, they're basically useless because they give you such a little amount of loot. And then your defensive turrets, I would kind of throw that in with production buildings, your defensive buildings, because that is going to help a little tiny bit. Now, in terms of defensive buildings, I would go with things like rocket launchers, shock launchers, things that are going to, you're not going to unlock those until you get to, I forget what it is exactly, but closer to mid-level. But definitely things like rocket launchers early on, boom cannon, stuff that's going to get you, that's going to kill troops, because when you get raided, you're going to lose. You're going to lose. Offense is overpowered in this game, like we said. So it's important to have defenses that are at least going to kill a few troops, because if you kill a few troops, you get things like intel, you get things like diamonds. Intel is going to be important because you do want to make sure that you're taking down operations regularly. It's not a huge deal, but as you saw we collected earlier, our operations reward does get you some diamonds or some loot to help with upgrades. So it's definitely worth making sure that you're in a somewhat decent task force that is taking down regular operations. That is going to help you as well in the long run. Yeah, make sure you're doing everything to rush your HQ, and that's basically, I think that covers the basics without getting too in depth into everything. So just to recap, rush your HQ, get those upgrades going as fast as you can. Use offensive statues, play the game offensively. Don't worry if your base layout sucks or if don't ever use ice statues. You can use green statues if you're like literally starting the game and you don't have any other statues to put down. That's the only time it's okay to use green statues. Other than that, they're just a waste of offensive statue space. But yeah, man. Other than that, make sure you're taking your upgrading. Get to HQ level 7. That would probably be my first priority, just downloading the game. Because once you get to HQ level 7, you unlock the Mega Crab, and you'll get a ton of loot from the Mega Crab. That's going to help you with your upgrades really quickly. Especially now that we have them every month. That's not something that that's not how the game worked when it originally came. It's not Christmas anymore when the game originally came out. So that's definitely a big change. But yeah, that's basically the chickens. That's the chickens' basic upgrade, or just basic beginner tips and strategy. If you guys, some of the vets that are watching this, if you guys have more tips and tricks for any beginners down below, make sure to let me know that down below in the comments. I'll pin some of the best ones so everyone can see it. And yeah, guys, that's all I got for today. Make sure to leave a like if you found it interesting, entertaining, or informative. And we'll see you in the next one, guys. Chicken out.